but I would love to hear like your take on just the process that you went through,
Mm.
and what your take on the song is.
Like listening to a song just kind of like you have all these emotions and memories and feelings that's like attached to it, especially if you're involved with the song, just let alone like being the musician, like in that. And I could imagine you writing the song and the emotions and memories that's kind of attached to you with that tune.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard it, I haven't heard in a while, like I said, until you told me about this. And it just brought me back to like Ariki's studio, and just like kind of coming up with some ideas and listening to the song and kind of understanding the message that you were trying to convey, and you're trying to just bring about, like it's stuff that not a lot of people were talking about back then, like now it's like the it's
Yeah.
everyone's topic of conversation now, but Joey Charles is doing it however many years ago. So that's really impressive that you were ahead of that. And me and Ariki, like we're kind of listening to the message, and listening to the chords that you were kind of using with it. I love the vibe. Ariki gave it a nice kind of vibe during that time we were recording it. And I didn't want the ukulele to take anything away from what you're doing, but at the same time, I'm doing it for Joey, so I wanted to put something that was really good out there, and that you couldn't that you couldn't get with just whatever ukulele player. Like what I really loved most was I wanted to create it in the end, like if you listen to the solo in the end, um there was this like kind of a building kind of melody line that was like I added harmonies to it, and it was just like da 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 da, like all
Yeah.
it's kind of kept building, because I wanted that, so that when you came back to the song, it was like it was towards the end already, so this big hype, going towards the end. So that's kind of my mentality of like, okay, Joey and his very powerful song is giving me this much time to kind of to sprinkle a little bit of magic in the message that he's already putting. So it was cool. I mean, thanks for letting me be a part of that. But I dug it, and I thought that's kind of what it needed to kind of build towards the end. And I wanted to kind of, just like how you were with your message, I wanted to break through what people kind of thought about the ukulele and what the ukulele could do, and the genres that's kind of attached to the ukulele. So it's kind of
Right.
cool to be in this kind of hip hoppy, like kind of reggae. It was I don't know. I don't even know how to describe, the feel and the vibe of the song, but it was really cool. So an ukulele being added to something like that, I knew I needed to kind of bring the heat.
When I first heard
Mm.
the recording of your track, I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is what the song needed, um,
Mhm,
to kind of give it a little bit extra. I
mhm,
there's so many different reasons why I wrote the words that I did.
mhm,
Moving forward from concept of the song to where it is now, but it's crazy because as you said, like,
mhm,
when we were working on this in the studio 2017
mhm,
2018,
mhm,
um it wasn't necessarily a hot topic. It was
yeah,
definitely, there was
yeah,
some flashes in the pan, so
yeah.
to speak, but there wasn't like such a hot topic issue as it is right now.
Mhm, mhm.
And the issue being just so many people battling against each other, building up their walls,
Yeah,
and pointing fingers, and it's your fault, and if you
yeah,
didn't do
yeah.
this, and all of these things,
Mhm,
it's
mhm,
like
mhm,
there are people who are looking and trying so hard to help in
mhm.
whatever
Yeah,
way they can, and it's the whole concept of, don't want to talk about walls, because
yeah.
I want to be able to help and reach out a hand to you, to
Mhm,
you, to
mhm.
you, wherever you're in. If you're in need, like,
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that. And there are so many people that are like, no, you can't help. You can't
Mhm,
do
mhm,
this, you know,
mhm,
and it very much frustrated me. And, I had actually a personal experience where,
mhm,
uh, it's something that I don't talk about because it's an actual fear of talking about
mhm,
it, especially in this day and age. But I had an
mhm.
experience where I was attacked at my place of work because of
Mm,
the color of my skin and who I
mm,
was,
mm.
and which is crazy to think about in Maine.
Yeah.
And
I thought I was in Hawaii. I'm like, okay, I can kind of see
well,
like
there's
how
that
that would
too.
happen here, but
In Guam, I
mhm,
had the experience. I think it was like 2013, 2014, but that was after I
mm,
had experiences with racial issues in Guam, being white in on the island of Guam. Uh,
right.
Obviously, you come to Hawaii,
Mm,
it is what it is. There's
mm,
a lot of issues that come with that. But I've
mm,
always been one that's tried to reach out and like try and help in whatever way that I can. And
right.
so I
Yeah.
feel like this song is a great example, of hopefully what moving forward, what can be. Like, don't let
Mhm,
the people who are trying to hold
mhm,
you down do what they want to do and hold you down and
mhm.
keep your voice
Yeah.
quiet. You got to just push through, just
Mhm,
look past the walls and keep moving forward and build a bridge.
mhm.
Because I mean, I can't even watch the news anymore. It's
Oh,
so
dude.
depressing.
I was just thinking about that, like listening to the song again. I'm like, and I know we kind of talked about like, how what made you kind of write this song, and me and Aliki almost like, man, like, like does Joey need a hug or something? Because, but like it's one of those things that like you hear it and you're like, a person can't write a song like this unless they felt, like that kind of, that kind of emotion or that kind of treatment. So I was
Right.
like, this is kind of this is very real, and the way that you kind of painted that picture in the tune, and I wanted to really respect that. And when you came in and listened to the song, that's why we were kind of ribbing. I'm like, dude, like, you're right, because this song is pretty heavy, and I've never been part of something that kind of heavy. Like it's a great song and stuff, but the message is extremely uh heavy. Like I'm trying to think of a better word for it, but really that's what it is. And you're the kind of person, from my experience, when from what I know about you, you're not thinking about those walls, and you're not thinking about the restrictions of skin color or anything, or culture or anything like that, because I know you've traveled like far and wide and tried to like connect with people regardless of what you look like. I've seen the places that you've been to, like through your pictures. Of course, I haven't gone there
Right, right, right.
myself or anything, but it's just like seeing your experiences, and I'm like, man, that must be insane, because someone like you going to, for example, the Untouchables, like going there, and that's crazy. And that kind of experience, and that kind of just culture shock, I'm sure is the kind of person that would write something like that. So
Mm.
thanks for letting me be a part of it, because I dig the tune. I think the words are powerful, and I'm glad I could put a little bit of ukulele on it.
And of course, I am super thankful that you were willing to jump on and do this. With the amount of time that you had
Mhm.
to come together and put this piece, you really added the essence of what the ukulele can add to music in general, as well as lending a unique voice in the song
Mhm.
that I think elevated just the whole meaning behind it. Like, of course, words have power,
Mhm.
but single notes, and when they're put together in a full production,
Yeah.
um, it really added something tremendous to this track. So thank you so
Yeah.
much
Well, thank
for
you, man.
for doing that.
Yeah, well, the song talks about walls, and people talking about walls and stuff. It's kind of, it encapsulates that with the involvement of the ukulele, because ukuleles usually wouldn't be involved in something that in a piece or in a track that sounds like that. So like you broke down that wall already, and it's kind of cool, man, how to hear everything kind of come together, and a representation of everything. And yeah, I dig it, man.
For those who are watching this, don't forget to check out the new single, Walls, by myself, Joey Charles, featuring the one and only Aldrine Guerrero. Thanks for watching.
Cause where I'm heading, I'm leaving it far behind. Don't need to worry about familiar